Hey, what's going on guys, Migzuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a Izzet control deck for Standard 2022. So before we get into the list, I just want to quickly mention, sorry for the lack of uploads all week. I know I uploaded like 2 videos, but that's just because I was on vacation, and I tried my best to record before I left, but there was a ton of stuff I had to get done, plus I have an actual job, so I was busy with that too. And now we are back, and I am going to try to get back to daily or semi-daily uploads depending on how we're feeling with the standard 2022 meta. Anyways guys, this is Izzet Control for standard 2022. I've been trying a ton of control decks in the format. We've tried stuff like Dimir, Mono Black, Grixis, Esper, so I think it's only natural that we've ended up on trying Izzet as well. So for Izzet, I've decided to run a snow theme as I have in the past with a bunch of my Izzet controlled decks. Being in snow gives us access to Frostbite and Gravenlore, two of the better snow cards. Like, we can run snow in Dimir and have access to Blood on the Snow and Gravenlore, which is something I might try. I don't think it's worth it in Grixis because we don't exactly want to have a 1 mana red spell or 4 of copy of a 1 mana red spell in a Grixis control deck. So really, Izzet is one of the main control color combinations that can run cards like Frostbite, which is really good. 1 mana, deal 3 damage to anything is solid, and instead of playing Behold the Multiverse, we have access to Gravenlore. I'm literally not running Faceless Haven just because the mana is, it's not crazy, but it's kind of tricky. You need a lot of double costed cards early in the game. You need Sod coming on 3, you need Draconic Intervention on 4, you want Untapped Red on 1, you want sometimes triple blue for Seagate Restoration. I've honestly cast this thing a lot more than you'd expect, and I'm literally considering putting another copy in the deck. But yeah, so basically you want a lot of untapped mana, and you want a lot of good mana, which is why no Faceless Haven, and I don't feel like you really need it. You can run the Hall of the Storm Giants as a solid control finisher manland that also, you know, is blue, so it fixes your colors. Anyways, the rest of the deck, we have Counter Magic, Disdainful Stroke, Negate, just to help keep you alive, Jwaris as a tap land that also fits into the mana base. We are a 26 land deck, and I'm running 26 instead of in any higher land count because you can ramp with Prismari Command, you can ramp with Magma Opus, you get discounts off Rowan and Will, so I think 26 lands is fine. You can also get further into your deck with Expressive Iteration and find lessons with Divide by Zero that get you lands. Anyways, yeah, so one of each 2 mana counter spell, they'll find something. They're going to hit something regardless of what you're playing against. One Burning Hands is tech against mono green. It can also just act as a 2 mana shock, which isn't great, but I think it's worth playing. Expressive Iteration, crazy card. We got Divide as our learn card. I like the 2-2 split between Divide and Sot coming, and I've been doing it in a couple control decks. It gives us something to help with learning, and it also gives us access to this counter spell. Hard 3 mana counters are really bad against aggro, especially on the draw, where Sot coming is more forgiving. It can hit stuff that's already been put on the board, and then they can replay it, and we can wrath it the other turn. Heated Debate is really sad. It's kind of like Poison the Cup and Dimir. There's not much of a better option. I feel like you need this 3 mana removal spell for 2 creatures. 1 Goldspan Dragon. It can't be countered, so the fact that they generate some treasure isn't amazing, but it takes out Goldspan Dragon, and you know it's going to take out that Goldspan Dragon. Also, this kills Skullport Merchant. Without this card, you have a lot of trouble dealing with a Skullport Merchant, and those are 2 very relevant 4 toughness creatures. Also deals with like Galazeth Prismari. So, you know, although it's not great, I think Heated Debate has a fine position in the meta, so we're running it now. Rowan and Will I've been super impressed with. All of our cards except for Frostbite and Expressive Iteration get a discount, and you can play Rowan on 3 and try to force an ultimate, in which case in a control mirror you will probably win because of the ultimate. If not, you want to wait until turn 5 and cast Will, so you can kind of put this here because it acts as a flexible Planeswalker. Honestly, the discount is very underrated. I absolutely love it. Prismari Command is necessary, helps ramp us, very versatile card, can help filter through your deck. The draw to discard 2 is super good because it puts more expensive cards in the yard for Draconic Intervention, like your Magma Opus, Alrund's Epiphany, Seagate Restoration, which is a 7-cost spell, Gravenlore, that type of thing. Destroy an artifact. I'm gonna hurry up, we're taking a bit too much time for the intro. Draconic Intervention isn't great, but it is a necessary evil. It's a sweeper. It doesn't have the clause that Power Word Kill does. It just has the non-dragon clause, which sucks, but we compensate for that with cards like Heated Debate. So I think it's fine, and you need a sweeper. Also, Izzet Dragons is on the decline, and the Orzhov mid-range deck and mono green are still pretty popular, along with mono white. So I think this card has a role to play, because again, if you wipe their board of the that Orzhov mid-range deck, if there's no Kaya +1s on their creatures, then they don't come back, and like an Eye Twitch Dying won't learn, the 1-mana skeleton that generates a treasure won't do that. So Draconic Intervention is good because Exile is also relevant. Graven Lore, like I said, draw some cards. Mordekainen, Alrund's Epiphany as the top end of a lot of the control decks. Like in any blue-based control deck, this tends to be your top end, and it wins a ton of games. And Magma Opus because it pays for Draconic Intervention and is a great card to hold open at instant speed. Mana base, we have some snowlands, we have some halls, we have a pathway, and the lands I've mentioned before. Learn board, sciences, teaching, start from scratch, illuminate history, and mascot exhibition. You can tweak this however you want, but this is what's been working for me. Anyways, guys, if you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video. It will be in the description down below as always, and consider subscribing. It motivates me to make more content. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. Let's get into some games. Okay, I mean, hand is okay. Let's go. If I need the sweeper, I'm going to really want the discard outlet. Okay, double sweeper. Do I play Juaris on 1? Do I play this on 1? Or do we just hold? I think we just hold for now. Get down a red land. We'll see if we need to play these tapped in the future. I have Expressive Iteration to find more land, and it looks like we're against mono black, so the sweeper might be relevant. The Exile clause and Intervention is relevant at the moment. So I think we just play basic Island Pass. If the opponent wants to cast Deadly Dispute, I think we counter it. And if not, we can chill. Okay, so even though they get value off sacrificing the Ghast, we get the Ghast off the board. And I am going to Deadly Dispute before that resolves. So they can't actually pay for it. Because if they're generating treasure, then a 1-mana, well, a 4-spike is going to be a lot worse. Okay, Warlock class. Probably gonna sack this looking for more land. And I guess this is where we find out if they are mono black. Okay, this looks a lot like mono black. Okay, triple intervention right now. I think we cast Expressive Iteration. We can go hand, I think. Take the Divide, Library, and Exile. Opponent's on a pretty slow game plan, but we do have to find a way to get an expensive spell in the yard. Worst case, we can cast this for, for 4 Exile, a 2-mana spell. We'll see. I can also just put this on red whenever I want, so we have access to all these interventions. But it looks like my opponent's on a control deck as well. Okay. Nighthawk Scavenger. We can divide that. I don't exactly want to play Rowan, I'd rather play Will. So I think we play Tapland and pass, planning on using Divide by 0 on the Scavenger. Awkward hand. Okay, we can divide it back to hand. If they play it again, then we can use Draconic Intervention on our turn. So what do I want? I mean, I can get a Illuminate History, which is pretty funny because I have all these sweepers that aren't great. 2 cards in yard, pretty far from making the 3/2. Maybe we just grab Mascot Exhibition, but we're kind of far from that too. I mean, this is card disadvantage, but it filters us through some sweepers. Honestly, I think we grab the Illuminate History. It's probably going to be better than Teachings right now. but we can just build up to this. All right, I'm grabbing the Mascot Exhibition. And with Will or Rowan down, it costs only 6 mana. Take 1. This is fine. We have 6 mana in hand. Okay, Nighthawk Scavenger. Let's go. One more 1-drop. No other 1-drop. I think I still cast the Intervention. Actually, hold on. Can I hold open Frostbite? I mean, I can, but it would cost me a potential 3 life at some point. I think that's okay, though. We'll make a little bit more red. And we will exile the Divide by 0. Do sweep their board, and they don't even get to learn off the Eye Twitch. Alright, nice. Next turn, if all goes well, we play Rowan, another Scavenger. Okay, this is why we hold open the interaction. Good Frostbite for sure. They might have a Deadly Dispute, but that's okay. And there's the Deadly Dispute. Like I said, it's completely fine though. So am I paying 5 mana for Will? I think so, right? We just cast the Walker, draw 2 cards. Seems kind of good. And we hit that minus clause. Draw 2. So this is going to cost 6 mana. So we can potentially cast it. How greedy am I going to be with the Seagate Restoration? I think if we resolve it, it's going to be difficult to lose. So I'm just going to play Mountain and pass. If Will sticks, we're in an amazing spot. It means everything is discounted. We can plus it up a couple times. Oh, they use Warlock class? Okay, opponent's in trouble. They definitely are in trouble. So, plus on nothing just to get the loyalty up. Am I going to draw a million cards or am I going to take an extra turn? I mean, drawing a million cards leads me into more mana. I think I could take the turn off to Seagate Restoration. Yeah, seems kind of okay. Alright, not bad. Not bad. And then I can play tap land and pass the turn. Okay, let's sort this hand out. Mana, 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 removal, removal, and over the top spells. Okay, hand is sorted. Let's go. Opponent found the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, Egon. Okay, I mean, damage-based removal isn't amazing against Egon. Make it a 0-2.
You need to slow down.
Okay, so we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So we can go Alrund's Epiphany. Actually, hold on. You can go here first. Well, I want to make sure this resolves. So we're going to go for an Epiphany. Uh-huh. Then we're going to go for a Prismari Command. Shooting something, giving me some more cards, or more mana. What's more relevant? I think more mana is relevant. So, shoot something, make more mana. Okay. And we're back here. Get in there with the birds. I mean, I could just draw more cards. I want to wait to maximize just my board. I think if I take like a million extra turns, though, it's going to be very difficult for them to win. So we can take an extra turn here, then have 4 mana available. Does that do anything? Like, not really. So maybe it's worth playing like Magma Opus or Mordekainen just to get something on the board. And then take 2 extra turns? Okay. I'm going to run the risk that they don't actually have any way to interact with me. I guess we can make more blue. Okay, I mean, I'm probably winning regardless of what happens, so I can get Mordekainen down, or I can literally just hold open all the interaction. I only really need 3 mana, though. Alright, let's get Mordekainen down, make like a bazillion dog. Alright, 18/18 dog. I pass. I mean, dies to a removal spell, but we can minus it and take an extra turn, or 2 extra turns. Which is why Alrund's Epiphany is the top end of the format. Is my opponent still here? I mean, I figured they'd concede after, like, the first extra turn, and honestly, I could have just gone for, like, 3 consecutive extra turns, and that might have caused them to scoop, but I just wanted a way to close out the game after, you know, establishing a sort of board presence, whether that would have been with Mordekainen, Mascot Exhibition, or Magma Opus. Okay, no snow mana, so we kind of have double shock, but that's okay. We can play Iteration on turn 3, on turn 2 hold open, negate, and some Frostbite. So I like this hand, and we eventually ramp into Magma Opus. Okay, that's not a bad draw. We start building up these snow permanents. Okay, I guess we're playing mono black today. Going to go for an Iteration. And Library and Exile. That's kind of perfect. We get to hold open Frostbite anyways. I'm not just going to pass the turn with open mana if I can use it in some sort of way. Let's hold that Seagate Restoration. Might end up getting cast. Now we have our 3 snow permanents online. And we can hold open Frostbites, negate, divide by 0. Okay, if my opponent's not going to do anything, I'm happy to chill. We have land drops for a minute. Want to make more blue, we need triple blue for Seagate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ebon Death Draco Lich. Okay. That resolves, at least for now. I think I just shoot this. This is going to be a recurring threat, so, you know. It's more of a long-term issue. I can cycle Magma Opus, and if I draw untapped land, we have Seagate Restoration. But I think it's worth passing. Okay, a little bit punished here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, alright. I might do it next turn. If we end up having 2 mana, second Ebon Death. I'm on my end step. It's fine. We can divide it, or we can just Frostbite it. You may cast Ebon Death from your graveyard if a creature not named Ebon Death died this turn. Okay. I'm just gonna keep shooting them. I know they're recurring threats, but I think this is mono black control. I don't think they have many creatures. Okay. That's fine. That's it for the opponent. So, am I cycling this? I don't think so. We'll play Divide, and we know we're going to get another land via Environmental Sciences. So I think this is okay. Just chill. Slow the game down. Casting this is pretty relevant. Alright, Draconic Intervention. That's a card. That is definitely a card. So we fetch here. Another red source. Play it out. And I'm not going to go on auto pass. I'm just going to pass like this in case they want to do something at instant speed. And they don't. Elderfang Disciple. I think I can drop off Negate. They have cards with 4 CMC. I haven't seen any non-creature spells, so I think this is fine. And we Seagate Restoration here. Just draw 5. Not bad. So opponent's gonna have a turn to play out some cards, do their stuff, but we have board wipe with a 7 mana card in yard, so we're feeling okay. We're feeling pretty good about our position. Wolf comes down, makes the reach spiders. Okay, so how are we doing this? Is this draconic intervention time? So it would sweep the board, but then we're left with 4 mana to do what? I mean, Lolth will draw a card. At least they don't get loyalty on their creatures. How much do I really care, though? I think I can take an extra turn. An extra turn seems pretty good. It means I can try to pressure Lolth down. A lot of options. I want to remove this as soon as possible, so maybe I just go for Magma Opus at instant speed. That actually seems pretty good. Okay, we're gonna go for a Magma Opus. Yeah, they get to draw a card. I could have done that earlier in the turning on 1, 2, 3, 4, and I probably should have. Okay. But I guess we could have held open mana as well. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. You know what? We're gonna go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're gonna tap 1, 2. Seems okay. I could also just tap another swamp to make sure they have less black mana, but I think this is fine. And everything dies.
You win this round.
They can recast Ebon Death, but this is okay. Sadly, we don't have any counter magic open. Turgrid's Lantern. I twitch. Alright. I will lose 3 life. That's fine. And we have extra turns for days. Let's go. I'm going to attack. We see the chump block. So I don't know if they're dead, but they're close to dead at least. I have to disable Untapped right now. There's been a new Streamlabs update, and any overlays make the game lag a lot. So we're not going to be doing that. Alrund's Epiphany. Do I foretell other Epiphany or play Expressive Iteration? Let's play Expressive Iteration. And Library Exile. Nice, 3 extra turns. And that's why it's the top end of the format. Extra turn. And then we can double foretell. Use all our mana. Get in there. Oh, and the opponent's just super dead. Okay. Triple Alrund's Epiphany. And they're out. Let's go. This is why I like comboing Alrund's Epiphany with like 1 creature, especially when I know I have a lot of them. Okay, slow hand. If we draw 1 land, it's pretty good though. And even if we don't, we have turn 3 sweeper. Honestly, I do like this hand a lot. The more I look at it, the better it looks. We have Frostbite as early interaction. On turn 2, if they come out really aggressive, we can just cycle Opus. Dimir Control. Okay, not coming out aggressive. And now we need lands. Like a lot. Okay. So do I cycle Opus for a treasure? How easily can they remove Planeswalkers? I mean, not that easily. Okay, I'm doing it. A little punished, like a little punished, but it's okay. I'm gonna resolve Rowan. Just get the discount forever. And we're gonna start plussing her. So basically they have, what, 2 turns to remove this thing. Or we try to take over with the emblem. Okay. Nice. And we have a mana discount until this thing leaves the field.
Don't worry, this won't take long. I'll be quick work of it.
Nice. Okay. So even though we drew land, I think it was worth discarding the Opus. Please no poison the cup. I'm gonna Soul Shatter for a Teachings, just because the opponent's way ahead on cards. That's kind of sad. Well, they have an answer, so it is what it is. It's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can foretell this. If an opponent has more cards in hand, then you draw 2 cards. So we're going to foretell. And we're going to just play Teachings, draw 2. Okay, not good. Very not good. We do get a bit mana screwed. I mean, I've played this game pretty aggressively, but I think it's fine. Like, they have more counter magic, they tend to have more card draw, and they have better removal. Land. Well, I mean, we do have stuff going for us. It's just, I think Dimir is better positioned right now. We can play a lot more at instant speed than they can. Okay. More blue. And now we have, what, 6 mana? I could have gone for an Alrund's Epiphany. I don't think that's worth it, though. I'm going to try to Gravenlore here. I don't think this is resolving. It depends how much mana they use to counter my spell. Saw it coming from exile. Okay. Another Alrund's Epiphany. I'm gonna foretell and pass. I'm gonna chill. We've drawn a lot of removal spells and not many, you know, actual control tools. That's a control tool. That's an advantage of being an Izzet. Okay. No lands are in my deck. 27 land deck. Nice. I mean, at least we just went through 3 removal spells. I'm gonna go with the negate. I'm gonna go with a Disdainful Stroke on this one. If they play creatures like Imrith, then we have removal spells to deal with them. They Behold again. Yeah, let's keep that up. So we counter 2 card draw spells. So they're going to be on 4 cards, and we know one of them is a Soul Shatter. At least the opponent's doing good on mana. They're winning in that respect. Does this resolve? It does. Okay, good. Trying to take out my bird? They are not trying to take out my bird. I know this walks into a Soul Shatter, but I'm going to force them into Soul Shatter plus Sweeper, which is possible, but they don't have that many cards left. So if they have exactly Soul Shatter plus Sweeper, like, there's only so much we can do. Okay. And I mean, it's not like we're using these cards, so they're just kind of chilling in hand. Okay, Soul Shatter plus Sweeper. Confirmed. Alrund's Epiphany. If that was a negate too, I was gonna get pissed. Let's go. Give me some more top end. Give me some Magma Opuses. Land. I mean, can I even complain? We didn't draw any land in the beginning of this match. Okay. 4th Ice Tunnel. Well, at least we have a clock. That's a card. That is a card that I put in my deck. Eh? Anything, opponent? I mean, to be fair, I've drawn a lot of must-counter cards. 2 Olrun's Epiphany. I drew a Rowan that they had to deal with, a Mordekainen, and a Gravenlore. They've drawn not poorly, but not particularly well. They've drawn a lot of land, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, I think. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I've drawn 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So like 3 more lands. Opponents on that rope. I mean, they could be thinking about using a removal spell on these birds. Yeah, you take that damage, opponent. You eat that. Land off the top. I'm doing this. 4 damage face. Oh, they're out. They're out. Nice. Well, we outmaneuvered Dimir Control.